Stolen Moments, and welcome to our program. I am Reba Blue, and I'll be with you for the next hour to share some music and information and talk about some of my good friends here on Cluster Live this evening in Stolen Moments presented by PG Entertainment. Now, I just came back from a neighborhood event about the sun. All that well, the sun was part cloudy, but the sun did get to me. Boy, the sun last night was a hot day, 90 degrees on Mother's Day, and but the music was wonderful. Kathleen Bertrand did her thing, and we got to look out for her later on this year, or actually August, for the upcoming Bronze Lands Film Festival. So that will be happening in Atlanta, and informed about the upcoming events. Now, in the studio with us, Cluster Live. Well, and Cluster Live. Ready? I'm calling Jasmine. Jasmine. We all have different names. Jasmine and her husband, Anthony Smith. Welcome to the program. Now, let me tell you a little bit about these two from Jasmine. Well, one thing, she cooks real well. I must let you know that. She cooks the best turkey wings ever. And how I know, because I've been over her house and we've had great dinners, and she can hook up a meal in no time. But she also sings. She's a beautiful singer, and you will find out on the show this evening. Now, one day, once upon a time, we were doing a gig at Cafe 290. And we were doing this gig on a regular basis on Wednesday. It was the second Wednesday of every month. I'm telling the story. The second Wednesday of every month. And then one day I called Jasmine and said, "Are you ready for our next gig for next month?" And she's like, "What day is it?" We've been doing this for a number of years now. She said, what day is it? What is it? And I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And she said, "Well, no, I don't think I can make it because of Anthony." I said, "Anthony, who's Anthony?" And she said, "Well, it's this guy, and he's a background singer, and we have a gig together." And then the next month was the same thing, and the next month was the same thing, and now they are Mr. and Mrs. Anthony Smith. And I was like, "Okay, you do me like that."
Long story short.
but okay, so yeah, we do. So what happened? What happened? You two just fell in love just like that, and started making some beautiful music together. But you already singing together, right?
Just like that, huh? You know what, I'm gonna get you back.
Okay.
So, where you from?
I was born in Washington D.C.
And how long you been in radio?
Oh, stop it. Oh, she's also an interviewer. They have At Home with AJ. Isn't that how it At
Yeah,
Home with AJ?
we had her on our show. And we're supposed to be interviewing her. She starts asking us questions. So I told them we get her back.
Okay. There you
So,
go.
you tell us.
You're from Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Elizabeth,
And
New
I grew up in
Jersey.
Long Branch, New
I
Jersey.
know.
And Anthony's got the East Coast thing happening right now. And Anthony is from Queens, New York.
Hollis.
Where?
Hollis.
Hollis. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the Hollis.
Oh, man, all the rappers.
Oh, everybody's
LL.
LL.
Oh, yeah?
Run DMC. Everybody's from Hollis.
Okay.
Jamaica or Hollis or Cypress Hill. Yeah.
Okay.
You lived across the street from, who did you live across the street
I live
from?
directly across the street from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, in New York.
I actually live on 2/3 104th.
Mhm.
Kareem Abdul, I moved there like 68, 69. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was living across the street from me in the other big house.
Yeah. Okay.
We had a corner house. My parents bought this corner, beautiful, like beautiful corner house. Kareem lived right across the street from me.
And the first time I heard about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it wasn't
Used
even.
to be Lou Alcindor. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lou Alcindor was his.
Louis Fernando Alcindor. And, yeah, because I read the book, read his whole bio when I was like 10, but I first heard about him when I was like 7 because his house had burned down. He had a really great jazz collection, and it burned down. All of it was destroyed during the fire, so that's how I knew
Well,
it.
this house, he was there before we moved in,
Mhm.
because I was told by some of the guys who lived on the block before I moved that he's been there, his parents. And he would play ball in the park, Jamaica Park. Jamaica Park?
No.
Jamaica Park, play ball there and everything, and I used to see him, tall, skinny, he was on his way up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you a little bit more about what I learned about Anthony. So one day we're just sitting around. I wasn't at the house. We were just sitting around, and I found out that he was in the marching band. He was in the marching band in high school? High school or college? A jazz band?
Never a marching band. I was in high school. I was in the senior band, the
Uh-huh.
jazz band, the chorus,
Mhm.
the orchestra.
Mhm. Yeah.
I had theory,
Okay.
and I had my band, Total Eclipse.
Okay. And so what did I ask you one day about your saxophone? Do you remember? Do you recall? He wasn't playing the saxophone. Hadn't played saxophone in how many years? Forever. So I asked him to go dig up to find the saxophone. And where was the saxophone? Anthony? Did you go buy one?
Yeah,
You went and purchased
I
one?
kind of laid off it for a little bit, a couple of years. But,
A lot of years.
I've been.
We made a play.
Yes.
A lot of people, a lot of my friends saying, "Man, you need to pick up that horn again." I was kind of off it for like maybe 10 or 15 years. But all in all, I've been with it probably 45 years.
Well, yeah, so what he had told me was he hadn't played it in a long time. So to me, a long time meant like forever. And so, but the next thing I know, Anthony has a gig playing saxophone. He's on a record playing a saxophone with John Khalifa. Is it John Khalifa and who was here last week?
Soul Chargers.
John Khalifa and the Soul Chargers. So I always say, Captain Darrell, who's the CEO of Cluster Live, played, what was his instrument? Clarinet? I say, Darrell, go get your clarinet and join us here on Cluster Live. He's like, oh, no. But we're going to get him out. We're going to get him. So how are things going musically with both of you? And the singing, I know you have a lot of gigs, you do a lot of background singing.
Still singing. I have a female group called Rain. We've been performing down at the Juke Joint downtown on Peachtree Street. We do a lot of that in private gigs. Mr. Anthony, let me tell you, started a rock band.
See?
She's playing drums now. And I'm his manager.
Of course.
So I got him a gig out at the Whiskey Go-Go in LA.
How'd you do that?
I'm not.
You just
my
made a phone
secrets.
call? Okay.
Resources.
Wait a minute. I would like to, okay, go ahead. You have the
July
resource.
15th,
Oh,
he will be at the Whiskey
that's my
Go-Go.
birthday. Are we
Is it
going?
really?
You gonna fly out?
Come on.
Oh,
hang
you
out with
gonna
us.
give me a ticket?
Mhm.
We'll talk about it. July 15th, what a better way to celebrate my next birthday.
Yeah. And so they're opening up for a female Iron Maiden tribute group, believe it or not, and they're awesome. I look them up on YouTube.
Mhm.
They play for stadiums and thousands of folks. So they're over there for them.
Oh,
And
okay.
we just released a new song by Smite. That's the name of the rock band. It's called Suspicious. Really good.
Is it Smythe because of Smith?
It's a play.
It's a play on Smith. It's
Uh-huh.
a German name, saying Smith. It's like, but that name has been given to me when I was a teenager. I had my first band, Total Eclipse, way 100 years ago. And that name kind of stuck with me. Only people who know me knows who that person is. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start this rock band. I'm gonna call it Smite. It's one word, Smite. It's what I've always been. So I'm on drums.
But wait a minute, when did you get on, start playing these
Well,
drums? Because,
that's-
you know, I knew it was the
that's another
saxophone, and then
story.
all of a sudden now it's drums.
Well,
You were a drummer a few months ago. I guess if you have talent, you can do almost
Well,
anything.
I
If
mean,
it's in you.
There is, you know, I've always had a fascination with drums.
Mhm.
Years ago, you know,
Mhm.
40 years ago, when I was in my other band. My uncle played drums with James Brown. So I've always been
Mhm.
around drummers.
Okay.
I've always had a fascination of being a drummer. You know, although I turned to be a saxophone player, but I never gave up my dreams or passion to be a drummer.
Mm.
So right now, I'm living out my dreams right now.
Wow.
So a couple of years ago, my wife bought me a drum set, a
Oh.
good drum set, and now I'm just kicking it now.
The good
So I get
wife.
on drums, I get
Oh,
on
no, wait, listen. Okay, tenor saxophone. We got soprano sax.
play soprano.
Oh.
One of the keyboard, he plays keys. He has a flute, a guitar.
Uh-huh.
He says he wants to play bass, but
Oh, Lord.
That's the one man
So
band.
now you're a multi-instrumentalist, correct?
Trying to be.
Multi, just
He's
playing
living
everything.
his best life, and I'm just hanging on.
Okay, so now you two are, I know you as background singers.
Do that too.
And you are professional background singers, and you have sang with a lot of people. But I remember one time specifically when Zakiya Hooker. Zakiya Hooker is the daughter of the great and legendary John Lee Hooker. Now, don't try and pick up one of his guitars unless you know that you can hold that guitar. That's the start of it all. Not thinking about trying to play it. I just wanted to hold it because I was in her house, and she's like, "Come on into the room and pick up a guitar, and you know, just see if you can do something." But it was just a very heavy thing. But so, anyways, Zakiya asked me to be a background singer for her on a gig that was coming up.
I was gonna say, this woman here is
Yeah.
the same background.
But I didn't want to do it. So I thought, I know a good background singer that can. And Jasmine, now Jasmine Smith, was the background singer.
You too.
No, I didn't sing that day. I didn't sing that day. I didn't sing that day. But here's what happened. She was on stage, and she sounds so beautiful. And then I'm sitting in the chair saying, I could have done that. Why? Why did I give her the gig? And she got paid. She didn't give me no money, didn't break me off, didn't give me 10 or 15%, not even 20%. But I did go for a house and get some good dinner. But how did you feel about that gig? I mean,
That's awesome, and
yeah.
we're friends, good friends with Zakiya now. I love it, thank you for introducing me.
Yeah, she's a dynamic
And
woman.
because of Zakiya, once again, Mr. Smith over here started painting last year, and he's had a few shows. Been
Oh.
to Zakiya's house for a dinner party she
Right.
had.
I couldn't make. I was doing a
Oh,
gig.
yeah.
I was on a gig. I was on a gig.
And he sold a few paintings at her party.
Oh, yes. And I also had an event in November where I'm not going to mention the artist's name, the other artist that was there, but he's a major artist, and Anthony was there with his art, and a friend of mine purchased art from Anthony, and I was like, oh, and he has it up on his walls now, and I've been to his house, and I was like, that's artwork by Anthony Smith. I didn't get my 10%, by the way. For all your sales, I was supposed to get 10%.
He has it on his walls.
Yes, he does.
The
Yeah.
name of my art collection is called Smythe.
Smythe.
Smythe on canvas. Okay, just like I have on my Facebook page, Smythe on drums, Smythe on canvas. You can go to Smythe on canvas on Facebook, and you can see my collection. Go to Smythe on canvas on my Instagram page, and you can see my collection.
See.
I'm an abstract artist painter.
Yeah, it could take a couple of lines and that signature is Anthony Smith.
Coming up this June, my collection will be at the Stonecrest Library
Oh, wonderful.
for the whole month of June. Stop in there, June 1st to June 30th, you'll see the Smythe on campus collection.
Okay, so we now need to hear the Smiths, the thank you very much, Anthony, because I was gonna tell them about everything that you just said, but, take it away, that's all right. Oh, that's right, your book. These are very talented people. Now, tell us about the book. You told me to read the book. I haven't read the book yet. I'm sorry, I apologize. I have a lot of stuff on my plate that I have to deal with. So tell me more about the book.
The book is called Exodus. It took me 7 years to write.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't from my husband and my brother pushing me. I would not have finished it. In Exodus it deals with all the killings that have been going on throughout the years. And long story short, a child has to write a thesis for school, and he decided to write it on what would happen if more black people in the United States than America. And it kind of went viral. People started thinking it was for real. Someone had him on a news show talking about his thesis for school, and people took it literally. And then an African country offered for all the people to come home. They would come home, and that's partly, some is true, and some is, not. That's not really sure. Like I said, it took me 6-7 years to write. It's finally finished. It's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It's called Exodus by B.W. Smith. And B.W. Betty Boo is my government name.
We all have one of those,
Betty Boo Smith is my government name. Jasmine is my stage name. So B.W.
Okay, so we're gonna hear both of you sing a couple of songs for us right now. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, AJ, Anthony, and Jasmine Smith. Welcome to Cluster Live TV and so many moments. Oh, his saxophone is already set up. This thing. Wonderful.
Where is the love?
Yes, you represent yourself well, Miss Betty Jean from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Okay, so we're going to continue here. We have some very special guests. I don't even know how to start, but here it is. Okay. Here we have the recordings. Got a couple of CDs. Soul therapy. Soul therapy. I might need some therapy too. Inay. And she's here in the studio. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. And also pianist Phil Adair, my good friend, who we'll get to a lot of you in a couple of minutes. And Inay is, she's Dr. Inay. Yes. She has an incredible voice, and I'm not quite sure how or where we met, but I know that we did an event with you at near the baseball stadium a few years back, before COVID. Right. And see, a lot of things happened before COVID, and then COVID came. We forgot about some of the things we've done. And so you're from Nigeria.
I am.
And born and raised in Nigeria, and you've lived on several continents,
I have.
including Africa, Europe, Scotland.
Scotland, yeah, I had a Scottish accent at some point in my life. I spent 4 years.
Well, when I did my DNA, I found that there's some Scottish in me as well. Would you believe it? I was like, what percent African American am I? Yeah, I found out quite a bit. And also you've done some work in, of course, all around the U.S. as well. And you're a medical doctor. How did, were you good at math when you were growing up?
I was one of those that liked math.
See, when I think of music, of course I think of counting and I think of numbers. When I was in my piano class, which only lasted 2 weeks at the University of the District of Columbia, I was like, ooh, this is like math class. And I do believe I ran out of the classroom and said, maybe I'll come back later, but never went back. And I have a little keyboard, but it's kind of collected dust in the corner. So, and I saw you also on a video, you were playing guitar.
Piano, I play piano.
Piano?
I play piano,
what were,
correct.
okay, that was piano, but it wasn't, I didn't see you with the guitar.
No, because I play piano.
Phil, you.
Phil.
Okay, we're gonna get to you, Philip. And so why did you choose to become a medical doctor?
Oh gosh, long story. So the real story. I know that people usually have elaborate stories, but my typical Nigerian mother said, "You're going to be a doctor," and I told her no. I said, "No, I think I want to do chemical engineering, or I like to cook. I would like something called foods and nutrition, where you kind of learn how to make hot cocoa, how to formulate it. That's what I wanted to do."
Like a dietitian type?
Well,
or?
it's how you make those things. You know, like when you see like powdered milk, how is that going? Is it someone that comes? And that's what I wanted to do. My mother said, "No, you're going to be a doctor."
That didn't sound, well, it sounds interesting, but how do you make good cocoa, powdered milk and stuff like that? Well, that is a good question. Do you have any answers for us?
Well, back then I was into that, but when you go to the store, you see all these different things. Well, someone formulates them, thinks of how the taste, the texture, how to, from the farms, all the different things to make maybe less chemicals. And I was really, really like intrigued and into all of that. But anyway, so my mom shut that down. She said, "You're going to be a doctor." And this was in Nigeria. In my early teen years, I graduated high school at 15, so at 14, my mother's telling me I'm going to be a doctor. And I said, "Yes, ma'am." But I will say this, that it is what I was supposed to be. I think that she was kind of, as they say, prophetic, in terms of this is what you're called to be. Because honestly, I can't imagine anything else that I would have done. I love what I do, so she led me correctly. Thankfully, it was one of those where you're forced to do something and you don't like it. I actually ended up liking it. So.
See, she's a brilliant woman, so she could have chosen anything that she wanted to become, and she became a medical doctor. You are, where'd you go to school?
I went to, so it's a long story, but I went to Temple Medical School for medical school, but I started medical school in Nigeria at 16. Then I moved to America when I was 19 and had to start college And then I went to College of Staten Island, New York,
Mhm.
got my bachelor's, and then got into medical school again at Temple. So I kind of had two bouts of medical school, kind of. So I went to Temple in Philadelphia, not too far from DC.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went
that's
to
right,
Temple
that's
for
right.
8 years for medical school and residency.
I was hoping that one day I was going to be able to work for they had a jazz, used to have a jazz radio station.
Yeah, okay.
And then they got rid of the station. I was like, okay, well, I guess I won't be at Temple University. And sad to say, some radio stations, as they say, some come and some go, but WCOK has been around for 49 years. And I'm into almost my 17th year working with them. But back to you. So you're a medical director of, what does it say?
Encompass Rehab Hospital in Stockbridge, Georgia. I'm medical director of the hospital. It's a 50-bed hospital.
Mhm.
And what they do there, I'm a rehab doctor, so what I do is I treat people who have spinal cord injury,
Mhm.
amputations, brain injury. When they leave the main hospital
Mhm,
to go
right.
to a rehab hospital,
Yes.
they're there for like 2 weeks to a month.
Mhm.
I'm the doctor that takes care of them there with a whole team of physical therapists. I work with occupational therapists. We all work together to
Mhm.
see how we can get that patient from where they are to hopefully going home and being somewhat independent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand that. And so you're a singer, songwriter, and most of the songs on your CD that I have here, they're original tunes.
They're all
And-
original
and-
except for Bobby Brown's Every Little Step. I have a slow version of that song, which people love, by the way. Other than that song, all the other songs are my originals written by myself.
Well, thank you for reminding me of that particular one because I know. When are you going back in the studio? Phil?
Soon.
Okay, and you used to be a professional hair braider. Now, I was looking at your hair today and I was like, oh, your hair looks really nice.
This is done by me. Yeah, I was. When I moved from Nigeria to New York, like a lot of Africans, I started braiding hair in Jamaica. Not Jamaica, because I like Jamaica. I braided hair there for a while, and that's how I supported myself through college and through medical school, and I love it. But I did it professionally, worked in hair salon and all of that.
Mm.
I love it. Still do it.
All
But I
right.
can't, not for much. I still do it for friends or
I'm
loved
a
ones.
friend and a
For
loved
loved
one.
ones.
So I'm next in line. Oh yeah, and Robert, who is also a producer here, he is a hairstylist, but he couldn't. Occasionally, you want your hair done by someone else, and so he's a wonderful guy too. Now, Phil, how'd you find out about Phil? Was it me? Because I introduced a lot of people, Phil to a lot of people.
I reached out to him on Facebook, and I don't know why. It's like almost 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I can't say how, why. I don't know how. Probably someone posted something we're doing, but it was. I think I reached out to him on Facebook. That's how we started to work
Mhm.
together.
Probably another one of your musicians.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know me and then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Phil and our relationship was Cafe 290. So it's like if I needed a piano player and a driver and somebody to come pick me up, I hadn't driven in like 11 years, and I finally got a car last year, and everyone was like, "Oh, Lou, Gwen, she has a car. She's got a car. She's got a no, it's not a brand new car. It's just a car." And as a matter of fact, someone made me take the car because I wasn't gonna go buy one. He was tired of seeing me ride around in Uber and getting. So he wouldn't bought me a car. It was just a friend, and I was like, okay, thank you. And Phil was like my go-to guy, the go-to pianist, because majority of the time he never said no. He never said no, even if it was like in the middle of the night. And it was like, Phil. He's like, I got you. It'll be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we'd be riding around. But Phil is the when someone asks me for, there are lots to choose from, but I want to get a piano player who is a nice and kind person, who speaks well, who's intelligent and all of that, and very handsome, And so one day, Myrna Clayton called me, and she's a wonderful vocalist here in Atlanta. She works all around the world. And she said she needed a piano player to go with her to Russia. You didn't bring me anything back. But you came back. That was a great experience. How did you feel about that?
It was nice. It was a 5-country tour, actually.
Yeah, that's right. It would turn out to be.
Yeah.
So where did you go?
We went to Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Moldova, and Belarus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they loved us.
fact, you are now loved all around the world because you are in the movie Respect
That's right,
with Jennifer Hudson. Yes, indeed. How did that come about? I had nothing to do with it. Darn it.
Well, you know, I was with the Federation of Musicians for a little while, and they just, you know, they reach out to people that are on the roster,
Mhm.
and they reached out to me, and I was like, I'm free. So
It was just that easy? It was just that simple? You didn't have to audition or anything? Or?
well, I mean, I had done some work for them before, like the casting lady.
Mhm.
She would reach out to me for like TV shows and stuff, like the Aretha, the Genius Aretha TV show. I did that too.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So they just decided to use me for that too.
Wonderful. Well, we want to hear what both of you sound like together. So, if we can now get ready and for your performance, and ladies and gentlemen, Ine and Phil Adair. Wonderful. All right.
Yes, so Soul Therapy is my album. I have some CDs, get one if you can. Two first songs are two of my originals. Thanks to Gwen, my first song was played on WCLK a lot. I appreciate that.
She told my good government name.
We both. And so here's the song, To Be Happy, first one.
Smile on my face, though everything's not going my way.
Thank you. This one is called All in All, another original. You can snap if you want to.
Hey,
Put some mayonnaise
it's
on
been
it.
good, it's been bad. We've been happy, we've been sad. All in all, in all, in all. All in all, in all, in all. You're the only one I'd rather do this with. There's been highs and there's been lows. We move fast, we even move slow. All in all, in all, in all. All in all, in all, in all. You're the only one I'd rather do this with. Thought I wanted to change the past, all the hurt that we've ever had, and now I know to build muscle up, we've gotta push hard. Can't really see that far ahead, and not with a crystal glass to see the future. All in all, in all, in all. All in all, in all, in all. You're the only one I'd rather do this with. Battered, bruised, we've taken blows, bound and weaved through all the throes. All in all, in all, in all. All in all, in all, in all. You're the only one I'd rather do this with. Thought you did me unforgivable. Some things we've been through, so shameful. All in all, in all, in all. All in all, in all, in all. You're the only one I'd rather do this with. Can you say I'm love if you've never had to forgive? Glaringly see the bad, but with the good choose to live. All in all, in all, in all. All in all, in all, in all. You're the only one I'd rather do this with. I'll do it again. I'll choose you again. I'll love you again. I'll run this race again. Maybe we'll lose it again. Come to our senses again. Realize again. Love ain't easy again.
reminder, this is God Bless the Child. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Well, happy Mother's Day to you.
Them that's God shall have, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Oh, Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got its own plans, got its own. Yes, the strong get more while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Money, you've got a lot of friends. They're crowding around your dime. When you're gone and spending ends, they don't come no more. Rich relations get cross of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got its own. God bless the child that's got its own. God bless the child that got its own. That's got its
God bless the child. And you guys could just play a little bit more, just a little bit more. God bless the child. I want to thank our guest today, Ine, we just heard from, and also AJ, Anthony, and Jasmine Smith for being here today. All the guys in the band. And next week, we have Mike Walton, saxophonist. We have Regina Troop, vocalist. She will be here. She's a vocalist, pianist, and she's just one of the most amazing artists. And also, we'll be joined by flautist